Alright. We're back. You're watching Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric. And we're going to be playing some more Naya's Unsealing. Sarkhan's Unsealing deck using dinosaurs and, some gore claws, phoenixes, all kinds of really good things to trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing. We've got some really good cards to help protect ourselves so that we can get there. So it should be a lot of fun. If you guys didn't see the last time we run a version of this deck, that video is up on the channel. You guys can check that out. And earlier tonight we did run a Selesnya deck, a Devs deck. Selesnya tokens was a lot of fun. So if you guys are going to want to go check that out, you can. If you like tonight's deck or any of the decks, don't forget to give them a thumbs up. It helps out a ton. And if you want to play any of the cards, don't forget about manatraders. It's a rental service where you can play and you can play all the Magic you want. Just flat rate, pay all the Magic you want. I mean, come on, we all pay for Netflix and Hulu and things like that, and it's worth it. I mean, it's flat out worth it. All right, guys, let's take a look and see what Rush has brought for us here. Let's also clean up this chat a little bit. Forgot to clean up chat after our last stream, so let's see what's going on. Was the stream down for the outage? No. I was streaming, but we weren't down. I mean, I was still broadcasting to YouTube. The video is up, so for those of you wanting, like, oh my God, let's call the cops. YouTube's down. Apparently that happened. Like, seriously, apparently that happened. YouTube went down, and someone called the cops. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, we're gonna be playing this cool Sarkhan's Unsealing deck. I've also got a little nugget that was given to me by James Clugston, and I did put this link in the description box below. I think a lot of people need to see this. Frank Karsten put out this article, and it's absolutely wonderful article over on Channel Fireball. This should be the second link in the description box below if you guys want to check this out. How many colored mana sources do you need to consistently cast your spells? A Guilds of Ravnica update. Now, Frank really breaks it down here, telling you whether or not you're in a 60-card deck, a 40-card deck, or a 99-card deck, just how many colored sources you need. There's a nice little chart here if you guys want to check that out. It's just absolutely wonderful information. I'm definitely going to be bookmarking it and just using it for reference. Frank really breaks down the numbers, the math, to help you, you see those consistencies. And he actually goes through and explains to you exactly why he would take every one of these steps to build his mana base. Wonderful article. I have yet to read the entire thing. I've just kind of been glancing over it because I just now seen it. But we're probably going to be using that a little bit to tweak tonight's deck. Now, tonight's stream is going to be a little bit different, as I've actually been asked to kind of help Rush out here. Rush is trying to get competitive with this deck, and he really believes that there's something there with the Sarkhan's Unsealing, and he really likes this deck and wants to be playing Sarkhan's Unsealing for this season. And no, let's just say it's not a tier 1 strategy, but it's a strong enough strategy that Rush is going to stick behind it. And so we're going to try to help him, give him every edge absolutely possible, and we're going to start that out with playing some games with this, seeing what we can do, and then just kind of taking it from there. So where did I say the link was? It should be the second link in the description box, like right below the deck tag. There should be a link down there. What's up, Crew Fix? How you doing, man? James, yeah, the foot's in a boot, man. We're doing the boot thing for the next couple weeks. Yeah. Turns out it wasn't a broken bone, just a torn tendon and a cracked piece of cartilage. I did hurt it, but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. yeah, the link should be down there. Take you over to Channel Fireball. You guys can check that chart out. Wonderful chart. I think that I think that it's going to be something that we're going to use a lot in the future, and I'm even going to be using it tonight to help tweak Rush's mana base. Now, all right, Rush, I am talking to you when I say this. He doesn't really like when I make changes to his deck, so. In the end, I am going to be tweaking the version of the deck we have right here, whether I agree with the deck or not. I am going to be doing some tweaks to the deck throughout the night, and I will end up giving my final verdict on what I think the deck should be running or should not be running. That's going to be up to Rush, but I am going to be using the chart to help tweak that version of the deck. I might have said we were going to be tweaking this version, but I'm going to play this version, and then I'm going to tweak it in the sequential games, and kind of go from there, and see what I really think about the deck and how I think that it would be the most competitive. Now that is just going to be my opinion, and those are bonus games for you, Rush. That's not what you paid for. That's something that I'm going to give you is my opinion, free of charge. That's so let's take a look at Rush's deck here, so we know where to get started. Rush has made some changes here since the last time we played it. We've got 3 copies of Shaper's Sanctuary here in the main board, and that's just to continue drawing cards. Sorry, one moment. When you talk for 3 hours straight, sometimes you got to clear your throat. Man, I'm telling you. Anyway, we got 3 copies of Shaper's Sanctuary here in the main board. We've got 3 copies of Justice Strike, and that's all we're going to be doing on turns 1, 2, and then on turn 3, possibly cleaning everything up. So not a lot of action going on our side of the board on the first turns of the game, but once we get to turn 4, that's when things are going to get a little bit crazy. Okay, the deck kind of really takes off from there, especially if you hit a Sarkhan's Unsealing. If you do hit Sarkhan's Unsealing, you're going to be able to start casting cards like Infernal Hellion to sweep the board. You can cast Goreclaw to help kill certain creatures and start making your subsequential draws and turns even better. I seen the Reliquary Towers. I'm not impressed. I don't like Reliquary Tower in this deck. I think that's a 100% waste. And when we get into the mana base, I don't think you can afford 2 colorless lands in this deck. It's possible, maybe you can, but I think we need a lot more red sources to be able to get this Rekindling Phoenix off. Matter of fact, let's check that out real quick. Based on what the pros say, or what Frank Karsten says, who has done a lot of math on the subject here, for a 4 and 2 converted mana cost spell, you're going to need about 16 sources of red. So 100% we need to have at least 16 sources of red in this deck to be able to cast this spell. So let's go check how many red sources we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like we're about 5 sources of red off of what we need. Alright, so Rush, check this article out, man. If anything, you definitely want to be able to cast your spells on curve. So let's look at the rest of the deck. We'll go from there. Okay. If anything else, we're going to be able to build a much better mana base here. We need a deck that makes Reliquary Tower a must inclusion. See, that would be cool. Nizahal, Niv-Mizzet, Shaper Sanctuary. How do we get all of that in? I don't know. We can play around with it, right? Let's talk about the 5 converted mana cost spells here. We've got Lyra Dawnbringer. We've got Snapping Sailback. Snapping Sailback actually may be a lot better than a lot of people are giving it credit for. Against aggro decks with a Sarkhan's Unsealing down, you're going to have a complete blowout against them. And yeah, James has gave us a really good resource to play around with Rush. So we're gonna be toying with that. And we're gonna, if nothing else, we're gonna get you a just a damn good mana base so that you can cast the spells that you want to be playing with when you want to be playing with them. You know what I mean? Like that's what we want right there. So if we can do that, then that's going to be a huge plus right there. It also may make it to the point where we're like, if we want to cast these certain spells, they just really don't fit with the rest of the deck, and we might have to make some choices and stuff based off of what we can make as a possible mana base. Certain cards just may lose some priority just because they'll make the mana base too wonky. So, Sideboard MTG, YouTube was down for like an hour, and everybody has already started making tons of memes about it. Yes, Val was even going to make a meme about people going out into the sun, like, you know. So you know, it's pretty funny. I think it's awesome. Snapping Sailback could be absolutely wonderful, even against control decks. This is going to be a big enough threat that if you cast it on their turn, they might have to tap out for it just to stop it on their turn, which might open up an option for you to get something else down on your turn. Could be absolutely wonderful. Snapping Sailback just seems like it could be good. I won't make any other comments about that. Regisaur Alpha, absolutely great, especially when you're pairing it with Carnage Tyrant. Regisaur Alpha into Regisaur Alpha, you know, you're talking about swinging for 14 points of damage after you've already swung for 3 in the previous turn. It just really gets out of hand. So I really like Regisaur Alpha and Carnage Tyrant as a nice little pair. Now when we get into the sideboard, we're going to see no red cards. We're going to see a bunch of white cards, a bunch of blue orange cards. We're going to see orange cards. We're going to see white green cards here. Remorseful Cleric and Deathgorge Scavenger to help deal with the graveyard. Now that's 6 spots for graveyard hate. We've got 4 spots here with the Kotley Honor Guard for anti-Golgari. We've got anti-Dimir decks and Dimir base decks here with Vinemayor, and then a couple Settle the Wreckage for those decks that plan on getting too big. So that's what we've got. That's what we're going to be playing with. Let's go get into some games. Nope, no response to Resurgence. He didn't like the card. I suggested response to Resurgence, but he didn't like the card. So, you think a couple Spyglasses would be good in the sideboard? I think the sideboard's a little bit heavy in certain areas, and I think we could probably free up a couple spots to make some room for some other really good cards to give a little bit more option. So, I just I think that we've got a little bit of room to play there in the sideboard to kind of help out. So we'll see what happens. All right, well, I guess I'm just going to start out with a Clifftop Retreat and then Sunpetal Grove and Reliquary Tower and go from there. This way we can at least cast Deafening Clarion on 3. So it's a keepable hand though. The opponent's going to mulligan to 5. Here we go. Mountain. It's a pretty mountain. It's a very pretty mountain opponent. I'm still going to start with a Clifftop Retreat and pass. The reason I'm going to start with the Clifftop Retreat is because Forest will now bring in the Sunpetal Grove untap, and now we're untapped all the way up till 4 guaranteed, which means that opponent. Can we at least play some Magic? Come on, dude. All right. We know he's a. I'm not making changes. Everyone was talking about how great Fight with Fire was, but no one's talking about response, right? Right? That's a good deck, man. We just beat him on turn 2. Turn 1, like his turn 2. We cannot keep a 1-lander. So let's I can keep this, and I think that I'm going to need this Forest here. Still going to do the Clifftop Retreat on 1 and kind of go from there. I'm assuming that because we went Clifftop Retreat, the opponent was like, Oh god, I can't beat Angels, not with this draw. So we're going to surprise the heck out of him when it's snapping sailbacks and gore claws and stuff of that nature. There's a get to lava runner. Alright, so we're going to go Clifftop Retreat tapped again. Why the Reliquary Tower? I don't know. Because someone gives a lot of credit to Sanctuary. I think you're giving Sanctuary way too much credit. Reliquary Tower makes the entire mana base wonky. Is it Wizards? Alright, so it's going to be a little bit of a pain. If we can get down to Rekindling Phoenix, we'll be doing okay. But we really need the opponent to start casting spells at us, or we can't even kill the Get to Lava runners yet. Have no land. Oh, come on. Come on, opponent. I think we're going to be just a little bit dead. Just a little bit. Just a little bit dead. We have one hope here, and that's to get around this Ionize. I don't think we do. I think the Ionize takes us out right here. Yep. So now we take 4 more. I don't think we had time to try anything else. Ionize stopped absolutely anything anyway. We're at 4 now. So we blocked one thing and we're still dead. Yeah, that's game. That's game. Why the Spinosaurus? Because of the flash. Flash on a control decks. It's okay for opening up, like making him like counter it on his turn. It's fine for that. But you do need to like get started. All right, so against control, against this type of control, what do we do? What do we play here? Possibly bring in some Tecatli Honor Guards just because they block most of his creatures as a 1/3. So maybe some Tecatli Honor Guard. I think we have to take a little bit off the top end. And I think we have to rely on Deafening Clarion. Like, we may just run it back. And it may be worth it to run Remorseful Cleric. But I think I want Deathgorge Scavenger. And I think for Deathgorge Scavenger, I'm going to take out Infernal Hellion. And sounds weird, but because I'm bringing in more cards that do not trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing, I think that I want to take out one Sarkhan's Unsealing. And I'm going to run it like that. Gives Trample, though. Settle the Wreckage is good here. Maybe. Maybe Settle is good. Really just depends on if the opponent opens up or not. We're short on red sources, so chances of actually getting to these Phoenixes are going to be really, really bad. We do get a Sarkhan's Shaper's Sanctuary. However, we're not actually going to be able to put anything on the battlefield for quite some time. I think our best hope is to keep this hand and pray that we do get to a red source. So I think we just have to keep this. Come down with a Shaper's Sanctuary and get from here. Yeah, I brought in the Deathgorge Scavengers there, Paulo. Got there. Good job, deck. So good. This deck is so good. Just right, the one card you need right off the top. There you go. That's all you need. Viashino Pyromancer. Come on, another red source off the top. Come on, you can do it. That's not it. I'm still not going for the Deafening Clarion. Maybe we should, but I'm still not going to. Keep and pray is always bad. Yeah, but it's sometimes the best you got. Sometimes hope is the best option that you have. And that's what we have. We have hope. I'm going to take my beats from the Varashino Pyromancer for another turn or two here. I would like to see him add a little bit more to the board. Yep. You got me, opponent. I did nothing to the mana base. I promised that the first couple games that I ran, I wouldn't change anything. I would run it the way it is, and then go from there. I think we have to go for a Phoenix here. See if we can get a blocker. I assume this just gets countered. Opt. He's still going to counter it. He's just opting first. Ooh, he didn't counter it. So does he just burn it? Burn it for 3. Risk factor. Yes, you can hit us for 4. Wizard's Lightning. We're at 1. Shock. Dead to red deck. Okay, well, I mean, that's brutal. Let's get into another game. I don't think this deck in its current state can beat Redbird, period. I think the deck's way too fast for you. I just don't. Now that there's multiple reliquary towers in the deck. Because Shaper's Sanctuary's going to draw so many cards that we can't hold them in our hand. I know what tone I'm using, Rush. Like, when did you slip the Shaper Sanctuaries in, dude? Like that. I think we're having a problem with, you know, the more we tweak, the more we're like, oh well, this would work with that particular card, but it doesn't work with the rest of the deck. And I think this is a result of over tweaking a deck that was already pretty good. So I really think this is just a matter of over tweaking a deck and taking it way too far. So yeah, the towers are real bad. Yeah, and I get it. Like, if you think that you're going to be drawing 3 cards every time someone kills one of your spells, you know, man, my hand's just going to fill up. Well, if your hand fills up, keep the shit you need. Throw everything else away. It's fine. Drawing your whole deck and keeping the best 7 is never that. It's never that bad. You don't need to have 13 cards. So I get it though. I get it. So we'll go from there. We'll go from here. I'm gonna keep the hand. It's not exactly what I want to be playing with, but if we can get into a Regisaur Alpha, we might be able to do some stuff. And you know, we're not playing against Burn this time, so that's a good thing. And Shaper Sanctuary may be the nut draw here versus a Dimir deck. So let's see. I mean, we may just have so many cards we don't know what to do with them, and we may end up with 13 or 20. So Well, good news is you're going to take them out. I figured you would. But it was a good idea. I mean, you got 3 Shaper Sanctuaries. You know, we're going to draw a bunch of cards. You might want to hang on to those cards. And I think you're just being greedy. And a lot of us do that. You know, a lot of us, make greedy plays from time to time and stuff like that. And that happens. So, like, at least we're figuring it out now before you get into, a game that matters, right? It's the whole point. So, I know I'm going to step on your toes a little bit tonight, Rush, but I did promise that I would be gentle. The damn reliquary towers. But good news is we've also got some help from other members of our community, and James has pointed out this beautiful little article that's going to help us get you the exact mana base that you really need. So, that's going to be a good thing. So, still, we're not able to do anything here. I hate the fact that we're gonna play the first 3 turns of every game and not actually do anything, absolutely nothing. And I just don't think that that's great either. Oh wait, it's a Scarab God deck. Oh no, it's not. Any chance at all this Sarkhan's Unsealing resolves? Probably not. Think he's got Sinister Sabotage? Like, that's the only thing in the main deck that should be able to counter this is the Sinister Sabotage. I'm going to go for it. The average Joe, 10-14. Oh my god, it resolved. No, I did not play Goreclaw because Essence Scatter is a big deal, and his chances of countering Essence Scatter with Essence Scatter is so much greater than being able to mainboard counter your Sarkhan's Unsealing. He's got a lot more counter spells that could possibly hit your creature than he does to hit your Sarkhan's Unsealing, and I think that we had a much greater chance at resolving the Sarkhan's Unsealing, and that's why I played it. And we resolved it. So that is my reasoning behind that line of play. In the main board, they're running Essence Scatters and sure, take the Goreclaw. That's fine. Take Regisaur. That's fine. We don't care. You taking 4 next turn, dude. Maybe taking 7. Nope, you're taking 4 next turn, dude. All right. He's gonna do some more stuff? A Thief of Sanity. Really? All right. Well, he's not gonna take 4. And Thief of Sanity is though. Wow, that means this Goreclaw resolves, y'all. Like, it doesn't just get the cast trigger. This thing's going to resolve. I mean, yeah, he saves himself a little bit of pain, right? But we get rid of a Thief of Sanity, which is just awesome. If he goes to kill this Goreclaw, we're going to draw another card. I'm okay with this. Oh, well, that's a good way to kill Goreclaw, isn't it? Shaper Sanctuary. Doing a lot of good there, wasn't you? It's okay. We can take a lot of this out, you know, for game 2 and 3. Assuming we go to game 3, but we can take a lot of this out for game 2. So good that Goreclaw resolved, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm so happy that Goreclaw resolved, because now he gets back a Goreclaw or a Regisaur Alpha. I assume that he gets back Regisaur Alpha. Doom Whisperer. I want to see what we get before I guess I have to put this in the... I guess I have to kill it now, because he's tapped out. And I may need all of my mana next turn, so... He's going to go ahead and surveil some. I mean, he's going to get it back with this Eldest Reborn. At least we have removal. Yeah, but our removal is not going to hit anything else. It was good. It was good. It was a good top deck, but I'm afraid he just plays another Eldest Reborn on us, or Plague Crafter or something. I doubt he's got Plague Crafter, as this is a control deck. James Cluxton, what do you think about Chemist's Insight in this Dimir control deck? Yeah, Justice Strike's a really good card. Cool card too that it, you know, the creature fights itself, but you know, it's just it is a really cool card. See, there's an Essence Scatter. He's gonna get back a Doom Whisperer. Our only white source. Oops. Don't know what I did to green for. Does this resolve? Again, game one, this has a high probability of resolving. I mean, if he's got Sinister Sabotage, then he pretty much has to use it here. Chemist's Insight. I don't think he's going to find much that can counter it in game one. You've actually got a Plague Crafter or two in the sideboard of your Dimir deck. If you go against a control deck with Planeswalkers in it. Oh man, that's right. That card is so good. Plague Crafter is so good. I have underestimated it at first, but it didn't take me long, and I'm calling it the best uncommon in the set. So you still like Notion Rain, but it has its downsides. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Notion Rain can have its downsides. I can't believe he didn't get back our Regisaur Alpha. I mean, I guess he just wasn't expecting to push a race, but whatever. Nothing screams I'm better than you like having your opponents punch itself in the face. Opponent, oh, he detection towered me. He detection towered me to cast down the Carnage Tyrant. So we draw a card. Oh yeah, I would love to use that ability. I need to put the camera over here because I'm always looking over there. Yeah. Thief of Sanity. We'll go ahead and get this down. We'll wipe the board of the Thief of Sanity. Sure. White, red. Our creatures also are going to gain lifelink. They're non-existent creatures. It does depend on how many 4 drops your deck is running in the deck. If you're a tap-out control deck like Grixis wants to be, then it's better. Okay. Yeah, I assume you're still talking about the draw spells. It's hard to keep up with the conversations as there's 1,000 of them going on. Maybe not 1,000, but MTG Barbecue. You really don't have a choice with Chemist's Insight because it's the best 4-mana draw spell you can get. It is, but you can get a really good 3-mana draw spell. I mean, Notion Rain's no joke. So I mean, there are some other really good cards. So Doom Whisperer. We just need a card off the top that's castable. Alright, good game, opponent. What about black instead of white? Ooh, what would the black be for? Yeah, there's that Doom Whisperer card for 5 mana. Okay. We're going against pretty weird little deck. I think Vinemare comes in here. Doom Whisperer. Lyra just loses to Doom Whisperer. What do you guys think about Shala in this deck? Because the deck could actually pump. Like, what do you guys think about the idea of Shala in this deck? Deathgorge Scavenger, maybe to eat some things out of the graveyard. Give us a little bit more aggression. Maybe we don't take out Lyra, but Ruschit here in chat. He's here. You can talk to him about the deck. David, you think Shala is too slow? Maybe in the sideboard. You think it's slower than the rest of the deck? I mean, the entire deck's pretty slow. Remorseful Cleric seems good. Just because we have more Doom Whisperer blockers, but Doom Whisperer's got trample, so like just chump blocking, it's not that great. It does not protect Unsealing, and it's too slow, but you can also play it the turn you're getting ready to swing into a Settle the Wreckage, and Shala would be amazing. You can pump all of your... okay, I mean, you guys don't like Shala either, huh? Me and Rush have been into an argument about Shala all day. Most of the evening, right? Alright, so what do we want to get rid of here? He doesn't have Enter the Battlefield triggers, so no Tocatli. I don't think we need Deathgorge. Maybe. Yeah. I think Thrashing Brontodon in this deck, but that's just me. I'm going to get rid of one Infernal Hellion because Infernal Hellions in this deck is more or less a board wipe, so yeah, she's good against white. I'm not talking about like versus what we're currently playing against, so Ripjaw Raptor for card draw? Yeah. Yeah, I think Ripjaw would be great. I'm tired of beating the Ripjaw Raptor argument in the head. Like, Ripjaw Raptor just makes sense in this deck so many ways. 4 Infernal Hellions? I don't think so. We've done a lot of testing with these Unsealing decks, and 3 seems to be the right number. We started out with 4 of everything, just like you're saying they're being formed, and then started dialing back on them a little bit. As you know, I mean, they're a great card, but yeah, well, we actually ended up backing down to 3. So, man, this hand, it's another hand of just horribleness. I mean, because I can't even expect this to stick around. We have the Sarkhan's Unsealing, though. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll get some white. Rocker, you're a big fan of Dark Souls, aren't you? Or is this blood demon souls? What is this? What is this from? Let me check. Bloodborne. Okay, this is from Bloodborne. I didn't actually get a chance to play Bloodborne. I hear it's pretty good, though. Well, we know what he's going to take out of our hand now. It should be the Carnage Tyrant. If we're lucky, that means we still get to get our Sarkhan's Unsealing down. So, yeah. Justice needs to go. You just watched us kill multiple Doom Whisperers with Justice Strike. We know this is a 4 Doom Whisperer deck, or at least a 3 Doom Whisperer deck. It's the only card in our deck that can possibly kill it. Well, that's a slap in the face. I don't think Justice Strike needs to go be informed. I just don't. I just don't think we get rid of Justice Strike. I think Justice Strike's one of the better cards in this deck, as far as removal pieces. I mean, yeah, we're going to be trying to get a Sarkhan's Unsealing down and kill things with Sarkhan's Unsealing, but I think we just kind of have to have Justice Strike to be able to kill big things. What is this deck that's mainly on the ground going to do versus a Lyra? Lyra is too big to just play one creature and burn it with a Sarkhan's Unsealing, so you have to have cards like Justice Strike. So I don't like not having Justice Strike. White Source off the top. Let's go one time. Woohoo! I'm paying the life for it. I don't care. We're gonna go. I think this is a perfect time to use the Deafening Clarion, so we're just gonna wipe this right now. And we might get lucky and the opponent might actually play something this turn, which is... It's ridiculous that this Dimir deck is tapping out here. So, sure would be nice to have white mana. And, yep, there it is. You called it. Hey, you called it, Boros. Wasn't for you, man. We wouldn't have got it. Sometimes you just got to have faith that the deck's going to give it to you. Hope. Heartbreaker. So does he take the Carnage Tyrant and we get to land the Sarkhan's Unsealing? Or does he have the negate for the Sarkhan's Unsealing next turn? He does not have a negate for the Sarkhan's Unsealing. That just happened. Alright. Let's get to 6 mana. We need one more green source. All pray to the Lord and Savior RN Jesus. Hostage Takers. I'm starting to think this is a mid-range deck. This is his Chemister's Insight turn. We're almost there. We're almost to Carnage Tyrant. So I would rather have drawn that green source next turn and drawn a Sarkhan's Unsealing this turn. Would have been great. Because we know that it's all he's going to do is cast Chemister's Insight here. 35 people watching and only 1 like. Gotta pump those numbers, peoples. Thank you, Madness. I appreciate it. The thing you love about this deck is you can play slow or fast when it plays right. Yeah. Define fast. So the opponent's holding Eldest Reborn. We play Carnage Tyrant. He Eldest Reborns. We lose Carnage Tyrant. We don't have a second creature to get around it. There's no point in playing it without any value. I mean, I just don't want a 0 value Carnage Tyrant. I would love to hit like a Regisaur Alpha or something that would stick, but what I tell you about them dang old tires? Name, ain't go back to your room now. Some of my propane accessories. I'm doing Boomhauer with propane accessories. It's Boomhauer instead of Hank Heel. I probably should have left a red source open when I was casting that Vine Mare so we could like Justice Strike at end of turn here. But it looks like it just ain't gonna matter. Do we just play into this Eldest Reborn? Feels like we have to do something, but we really don't. We really don't have to do something. Like, we can wait. The opponent's going to keep trying to do things, and the opponent's just like going to be searching for Escanta. And that's a Boom Hank. That's a Hank Hauer. I like Hank Hauer better than I do Boom Hank. Yeah, I like Hank Hauer. Unmoored Ego entered the revealed card zone. Okay. He's got to Unmoored Ego our Carnage Tyrants or our Sarkhan's Unsealing. So. Perlundum. How are you, sir? What card is he calling? Shala protects against this. He can't search target opponents. He's chosen Carnage Tyrant. Well, we're going to get to draw a card. They're saying run Jund instead of Naya. It's going to be hard with Escanta. No, the opponent hasn't beaten us yet, but starting the day with my games, well, you should definitely check out the Selesnya Tokens deck we played earlier. A lot of fun. Went 3-0 with that, and it was a ton of fun. It was just a ton of fun. Rush, do you have Vivian Reeds? Do you have Vivian Reed? The article that helps you work on your mana base is going to be the second link in the description box. So, okay, Vivian Reed would be amazing in these decks. I definitely think that you're going to want some copies of Vivian Reed, but it would be absolutely wonderful. This deck's playing real dead. This deck's playing much worse now than it was playing last time we played it. So, I think that's just, we all do that. We all get to tweaking with the deck, and we're like, man, I really like this, and what else can I do to it? And then we just take it too far. And sometimes we just got to dial back. So, we'll look at where we were after this game. Then we'll look at, you know, where we are now and see if we can, you know, get something else, yeah. Hey, that's a card. What all did he take out? Yeah, he took the Sarkhan's Unsealing out. This is the first time we've actually tried to resolve a threat. No, he removed Sarkhan. He removed the Unsealings from our deck. We don't have Sarkhan's Unsealing anymore. The good news for us is the opponent spent a card from their hand to remove a card that was not in our hand. They also spent a card from their hand to remove a card from our hand that replaced itself. So that helped us a ton on the card advantage. I don't think Unmoored Ego is a good card there. If you're wanting Unmoored Ego to remove like problematic cards, just more counter spells, and if that card can't be countered, which the only ones would be like Banefire or something like that, or Carnage Tyrant, then I think that, you know, Plague Crafter is a better play, or Eldest Reborn's a better play. So yeah, yeah. What's up, Spartan Lemon? Hi there. Been playing non-stop events with the Blue Wizards deck from the 2-hour meta breakdown, and it's awesome. Thank you for emphasizing it so much in the video. Well, that was the deck that I was putting up as, you know, the big deck to start your arena with and things like that. I think that the Mono Blue Wizards deck was just absolutely wonderful. I think it's still in a really good spot right now. It continues to show up in the big tournaments. You know, only a 1 or 2 of in the top, you know, 8 or. This is good for us. This is perfectly fine. I mean, he knows we have Deafening Clarion. So we'll get rid of Hostage Taker here. The song's back. Is this the same song again? No, this is Conflagration. This is Dark Souls. Yeah. Although I do like this song. There are no dumb questions. Let's go. Let's go, Brent. What you got? I don't think you realize how much you slowed the deck down. No, I don't. The only Dark Souls YouTuber I've ever watched is Let's Play Dark Souls HD. His tutorials and stuff. Like, I basically went through the game with him. Like, just straight up, I just went through the game with him. Ton of fun, and it was just wonderful. I went through Dark Souls 2 and 3 with it. Although I think he like stopped his Dark Souls 3 tutorial like midway through, and I had to like finish without him or something like that. I don't remember. Whew, I'm glad you Vraska's contempted that, so you're not getting it back. Alright, so Bryn has a question. Ionize, Counterspell, deal 3 damage to spell's controller. Okay, so it's 2 damage to spells controller, that damage can be redirected to planeswalkers. It used to be able to. Now, planeswalkers are a separate entity. They have to be targeted themselves. With the old ruling, yes, you used to take damage that would be done to a player or an opponent, and then that damage could then be redirected, but they have dealt away with that. Now it actually has to say player or planeswalker. So that there's no redirect rule anymore. Yep, Madness has got it. There's no redirect rule anymore. So that yes, it used to. That would have been the way, but not anymore. So unfortunately. So, do we get beat down by, like, a hostage taker now? Is that what's going to happen to us? Or our own Vimare? You highly recommend check out Vati? He's worth the watch. Okay. I mean, is it V-A-A-T-I? I doubt I'm saying that right. When did they change that rule? About Amonkhet? Somewhere around there. It was in the middle of Chandra's legacy there. Chandra Torch of Defiance was actually nerfed by that rule. At one point, you could actually, you know, uptick Chandra, not play the card that she exiled, and redirect that 2 damage to a planeswalker. They changed the rule about midway through. Or, you know, before rotation there. And now Chandra can't. She couldn't do it, so yeah, it was with the new legendary rule. Now that you can have multiple planeswalkers of the same name, or the same, you can have both Gideons, both Lilianas, that sort of thing. You just can't have the same Gideon, the same Liliana. So yeah, that was what they did. Well, I mean, he can get back a Thief of Sanity or a Hostage Taker. If he gets back a Thief of Sanity, I'll just smack it with a Justice Strike. Yep, Thief of Sanity. That's what he's doing. We'll go for it now. Detection Tower. Okay. Hostage Taker. Let's go ahead and try to kill the thief. We'll see what else the opponent's got here to stop us. Yeah, Rush, I think the deck was slowed down a ton. Pretty sure your EDH playgroup has no idea this rule happened. They may just not play that way. You know, do y'all play with the Vancouver Scry rule? Or do you play with the old rule where you can mulligan an EDH, where you can draw 6 instead of 7? Then you can put back, you know, any number of those 6 and draw 1 less than you put back. You know, that's like, there's a lot of people who make their own rules there. Deafening Clarion off the top wouldn't be horrible. Goreclaw. Drawing so many cards against these Dimir decks. We're just not drawing cards at all. Like, no Shaper Sanctuaries. We'll get rid of this for you, Rush. We'll look at the chart. We're gonna do some work on this deck. We're gonna play around with this deck. I'll give you the best that I can come up with on the deck. I'll go test that, and then from there, we'll do whatever we can, man. I'll way ahead of me. They're already going. I got you. I hope you're already working on your mana base. Yeah. That article is amazing. James Clugston for pointing that article out, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Sometimes we just don't leave well enough alone. Like, we had a really good deck that we had a lot of fun with the last time we played it, and now we don't. Damn, where's that Tristani? Don't put Tristani in this deck. Do not put Tristani in this deck. gonna scoop. I'm gonna scoop. Let's go to the next game. Because this game is gonna get out of hand here. How many threats can we put in this deck? Spartan Lemon, thank you for subscribing. Alright, so we got a little too much going on here. We got to pull some stuff back. I don't think Remorseful Cleric's good here. Snapping Sailback seems good, but I don't think Tecatli Honor Guard. I'll leave 2 in. He's got Hostage Taker, but I don't think that's a huge deal. So I'm going to run it back with just as many threats as I can possibly run at the opponent here on the play. Don't know if I would take that strategy on the draw, but on the play, I'm going to take it. And here we go. We might get to draw some cards here. Kirsch talking about squad. What do I have to pay to play a deck of yours? $20. $20. I will deck tech it and give you at least 1 game. And then, like, if it's a fun deck or I just want to play more Magic or whatever, but you're guaranteed at least 1 game. I know that sounds crappy, but whatever. It's what it is. If you want an entire league played, you can do. It's a $50, but a league takes like 3-4 hours. So depending on what the deck is, it can take up to like an hour a game almost. Plus, you're gonna get the deck tech. You're gonna get. That's the prices. That's the prices that other YouTubers before me has already kind of put out there, and that's I didn't get fancy with it. I just copied them, went from there. Yeah. Takes so long to build these decks in MTGA. Yeah. That's why I highly recommend that you guys play Magic Online. You know exactly what you want to be building on MTG Arena before you waste a single card for. Like, if you use a wild card on a card that's not going to be in your deck for the season, holy shit, we're going to win this match. Look at the clock. We're going to time him out. Yeah, I just don't think that. You know what? I don't even know where I was going with that. Whatever. Let's just play Goreclaw. Move on. If someone can like remind me of what I was just talking about, I'll get back on it. But right now, I just realized we were going to win this match, and it just like, oh. Yeah, I was talking about Arena, spinning wild cards on the wrong thing. Like, I know you guys are, man, he's shilling for Mana Traders again. No, guys, I really think it's a good idea to use Mana Traders. I'm not just shilling for Mana Traders. I think Mana Traders is freaking amazing. I really, really do. Like, Mana Traders let you, like, for the, we're talking the price of Netflix to be able to buy a $100 deck online. A $100 deck on Magic Online is like, or $100 worth of cards when you already have commons, uncommons, all that other crap. You just need to pick up the rares you don't have, like fulfill. Like if you're just trying to supplement a gameplay and stuff, Mana Traders is so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good. We'll draw a card here. What are you gonna take? You're gonna take our Infernal Hellion. Okay. All right. 5/4 and trample. I mean, I could just like snap the snapping sail back down right now, but I think I want to do it here. This is going to be so good. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so good. He's going to swing. You guys realize that? He's about to swing. Oh, got him. What a blowout. Oh, the crowd goes wild. It's so amazing. Hell yeah. Oh, GG, opponent. A GG. Oh, GG. Yeah. Just adding a ton of extra creatures to the deck. What do you mean, drop it? We dropped it? We dropped it like it was hot. At the precise right time. Get good, opponent. Get good. If I would have dropped it earlier, then it wouldn't have happened like that. So, yeah. Whew. You think the opponent was panicking looking at the clock? Well, good for him. Panic away. Yeah. Grinding gold events until you can hold an economy because packs are crazy expensive and the daily rewards are weak. I've got a lot of advice for Arena, but my biggest piece of advice for Arena is just like any video game, right? Let's use a Blizzard, a World of Warcraft, like Diablo 3, okay? Diablo 3 has seasons, okay? World of Warcraft, if you PvP'd in World of Warcraft, you have seasons, okay? In Magic, that's not a lot different from seasons. And Rush, I know I'm getting away from your deck a little bit, but I'm going to get back to it in just a second. We've already played 2 games with it. Now we're on the free time, and we're just going to have some fun from here, okay? But your deck did win. The deck did win. That's hard to argue that the deck did win. But anyway, so Magic the Gathering has seasons just like other video games do, okay? Every 3 months is a season, and that season, certain things are going to be better than other things. Some things are going to, still be good until, the next, expansion comes out. And expansions for Magic the Gathering are normally like rotations, right? You got your multiple seasons and multiple content packages in an expansion, which are our multiple sets that come out across the year. So if you'll look at it like that, we have a video game and we have a season. Then you have your basic archetypes, which are like playing different characters in those seasons. And a win's a win, right? You have your basic archetypes that are like playing different characters in those seasons. If you're playing Diablo 3, or you're playing World of Warcraft, or you're playing, pretty much any video game ever, Elder Scrolls Online or whatever, at certain points, certain characters are just going to be better or worse than others. But that doesn't mean that all characters are just completely out. Now, in Magic the Gathering, I think your deck is your character. Now, you wouldn't be serious about a game like World of Warcraft in a season. You would not pick a character and say, I am going to level this character, I am going to play this character, I am going to, put all of the work into this character, I'm going to get my arena rating, or I'm going to do all of this rating. Yes, you would end up getting another character about midway through the season and stuff like that because, you've been winning or whatever, and, there's only so much further you can progress one character at a given time, so you do have, your alternate characters and things. But for the most part, you pick a main, right? And when you pick a main, that's what you're going to do for a season for a deck. And I highly recommend that you guys, you put the research in and you say, okay, this deck, this season, I'm going to main this deck. This is going to be my, my deck that I'm taking to F&M, this is what I'm going to put my heart and soul in. I'm going to make sure that this deck is going to be absolutely amazing. Nope, it will rotate in Arena just like it would in paper on MTGO. Yes, yes. Arena will have. I don't know if they're going to let us use the cards once they rotate out, but Arena is standard. Who cares about keeping the cards after you've earned them? That bothers me. Nothing. That doesn't bother me at all. Keep the content fresh, keep the gameplay fresh, and I don't give a damn what happens to the cards after they're gone. I don't care. I don't care if Modern ever comes to Arena. I don't care if any of that ever comes to Arena. That's neither here nor there. I actually think that the more that they try to make Arena like a video game, and as soon as people start getting it in their head that they're playing a video game, they're gonna come around to this seasonal thing that like I'm thinking of, and you're gonna main a particular deck. And once you main that deck, you really need to give it absolutely everything you've got. You know, hey, I'm going to try this configuration of this deck. I'm going to try this configuration of this deck. You're going to test, and you may end up finding halfway through the season that you made a bad call. You made a damn bad call, and that would be horrible, right? And it would, and it happens to us, right? You know, like I dropped my warrior for a paladin, and I thought it was the worst thing in the world for like a season. I was like, you know, I'm going to put my warrior down. I'm going to pick this paladin up. I'm going to play this for a season, you know. And then another season, I picked a hunter, thinking that was going to be amazing because I like these new abilities and things like that. Turns out, you know, we got halfway through the season and they nerfed something on my hunter, and then that just sucked. You know, you were playing Teamer Energy, and halfway through the season, they just said, hey, you know, bam, there goes your Rogue Refiner and your Attune with Ether. That's the same as getting your character nerfed. Okay, so just like a video game, okay? Same shit can happen to you here in Magic the Gathering. So the quicker you start to actually pay attention to Magic the Gathering and play it like it's a game, the better off you're going to be. So, yeah, Madness, I'm going to rant. See you, dude. You'll watch the rest later. Thanks for staying up with us. All right, guys. Yeah, I get it. I'm ranting, but pick your decks. Pick your decks, and make sure you do your research, and you will go so much further in Arena. Arena can be so good if you'll just pick your decks and go from there. Rush, I hope that out of the first two games that you've seen, you liked what happened. I hope you got some information out of it. I hope you've seen how the deck played. I think you've seen how slow the deck played. I did speed the deck up as much as I possibly could in that last game. I think that that will help some. You now have 16 red sources. Right on, brother. Right on. That's what you need. 16 red sources mean that you can turn for Rekindling Phoenix all day, every day. Okay, so 90% of the time, all right, 90% of the time, you're going to be able to play your Rekindling Phoenix on time. So, 11 or 13 white and green, right? All right, so, I think Shaper's Sanctuary does not belong main board. Like, right off the bat, if I were going to make any changes to the current configuration, sadly, I would add more 4-drops. I would get rid of Shaper's Sanctuary, and I'd probably bring in the Vine Mares or the Death Gorge Scavengers. All right, but I don't know what I would do here. All right, so you say that you would add another Clifftop Retreat. You know, we'll look at that in a moment. So, you could have off your barely awake. All right, take care, buddy. I'm going to play around with this, and you can come back and watch it later tomorrow. So, while you're waiting in between passengers, all right, you can't get past Bronze 2. You broke into Bronze 1 for a minute, but you just can't win. No, you don't want to get past Bronze 2, because Brent, as soon as you get past Bronze 2 on Arena, you're only going to play other Bronze 1 or better players. And that means the only thing you're going to be playing against is nothing but top-tier players. Or, you know, top-tier decks and stuff. So you don't actually want to get into Silver. As soon as you get into silver, you're only going to play against like 4 decks. And at that point, you have to have a deck that is completely tuned against that meta. And that is not the real meta at all. And depending on your rank will depend on, like, and then if you can have a deck that can push past those, all the other, silver players, and you get to gold, then at that point you'll need to have a deck that can beat all of the top tier decks. At that point, you're going to be playing nothing but Grixis. You're going to be playing nothing but Boros, and you're going to be playing nothing but Golgari. Like, that seems to be what it is. So, what Arena does is it takes you by rank, and it basically, their idea was to say, we don't want new players to just get crushed by these really good players, so after a couple weeks into it, the good players will be separated off, and good players will only play good players, and new players or bad players, whatever, new players who don't have the cards, will not have to play against other players. So don't think that's a real meta, okay? Because you're not going up against some people who are playing jank and some people who are playing top tier stuff. And the better you do, the more likely you are to play nothing but top tier stuff. You'll never see jank again. You'll lose the idea of innovation. The game will just get as boring as it can possibly be for you. And that idea is also behind, hey, if everyone's a net decker, it will put all the net deckers in net deckers, right? Like. So, my recommendation is do your quest with quest decks. Build decks that are just really good at playing 20 white creatures or playing 20 red-green creatures or whatever, so that you can burn through your quest. And as soon as okay, I played that game, I got beat or I lost, whatever. I played 11 creatures. I know I need to hit 9 more. Hit those 9 more, drop. This ain't no shooting game, man. You ain't worried about a KD rating, okay? I'm telling you, you are not worried about that rank in Arena. Do whatever the heck you want to do, but don't worry about that rank in Arena. I don't think it's a good idea. If you want to play and have fun, you want to stay in the lower ranks. So lose some games. Stay in the lower ranks, have fun. It's a video game, right? But if you really want to push yourself, do the events. The events even the events will pair you into other players with a likewise rank. So, lose 10 games in a row, then go do your event with a really good deck, and you're going to be playing against people that don't have cards, and you just win the gems. Right? Isn't that the whole point? Win the gem so you can do drafts for free, get more cards. If the whole point of Arena is to get the entire collection, go lose 20 games, drop your rank down, then go play an event, play against people who have horrible rank, and then go from there. You're funny, Brent. You're funny. Alright. Let's dig into this deck a little bit, okay? Let's do this really quick. Let's pull up the old version of the deck. Because, man, I liked it so much better than where we're at right now. I think we've gotten really far away from where the deck originally was. The only thing I didn't really like about the original version of the deck was a couple small things that have been kind of taken out, that sort of thing. So we're waiting on Magic to catch up here. Alright, so I didn't like Colossal Majesty, so I'm going to take Colossal Majesty out. I didn't like Thunderherd Migration, so I'm going to take Thunderherd Migration out. So that leaves us with Deafening Clarion and Justice Strike for removal cards. We have Goreclaw and Hellion and Sarkhan's Unsealing for our 4-drops. We've got Regisaur Alpha and we've got Carnage Tyrant for our 5-drops. And then we've got 2 Gishath. I think Gishath was cute. It's a fun card. So I'm going to remove that. I know 100% without a doubt that I wanted Phoenix in this deck. I just think that the Phoenixes are absolutely wonderful. Can I? Yeah, there we go. So let's pull up 4 Phoenix, not 5 Phoenix. 4 Phoenix. All right, so that puts us at 16 4-drops. So if we drop a Infernal Hellion and we drop a Goreclaw, that puts us at 14 4-drops. I think that that is more than we can possibly use here. I don't think that we can have more 4-drops than that. I also don't believe that Deafening Clarion is main board in this deck. I know that may sound a little bit funny to some of you, but I don't believe Deafening Clarion is main board in this deck. Now, if we get over to the sideboard, we're also going to see, I still want Shalai in this deck. I also think that Wayward Swordtooth can come down a little bit. So, I don't like Colossal Majesty at all in the deck. I think that Deathgorge Scavenger and Remorseful Cleric are kind of in the same area. So it's basically pick what you want. Do you want Remorseful Cleric or do you want Deathgorge Scavenger? I don't think that you run both. So I'm going to pull the Remorseful Clerics out because I like Deathgorge Scavenger better. Now, let me explain why I like Deathgorge Scavenger better. Alright, Deathgorge Scavenger, not only does he pick at the graveyard, he can apply pressure in games where you want pressure. It can combo with Goreclaw because he can eat a non-creature card. We're going to get to Ripjaw in a minute. He can eat a non-creature card, and that non-creature card will give you... The non-creature card will give it a 4 power, which means, you know, when it starts to attack, it will be able to benefit from Goreclaw as well. Now, no, you will not be able to cast it cheaper because of that, but I do think that you can get some Deathgorge Scavengers in there. Wayward Swordtooth is okay, but for now, I want to go to 25 land because my rule of thumb on the lands are what turn must you get to go 20 lands plus the turn that you just have to get to. And I think that this deck wants to get to turn 5, right? I think that you really just want to have 5 mana, because with 5 mana you can cast one of these 4-drops and one 5-drop after a Goreclaw. Or you can cast, you know, your Regisaur Alpha after a Sarkhan's Unsealing. I think that this is a 25 mana deck. I could be wrong about that, but I think this is a 25 mana deck. Alright. 25 lands also works really good with Wayward Swordtooth. Wayward Swordtooth is... I am so mixed on this card. Like, I like this card, I hate this card, I like this card, I hate this card. It's just one of those things, right? I don't think Vinemare is as important as we might think. So I'm only going to run 2 Vinemare in the deck. And then I think that the deck needs some Brontodon. There's no way I spelled that right. There's no way I spelled Brontodon. Apparently I did. It's green. It's a green card. It's a green card. There we go. So we're going to put 2 Brontodon in the sideboard. And then Rush wanted some Shalai in the deck, right? Okay, so I've got to stay away from Vivian, okay? I have to stay away from Vivian because he doesn't own Vivian, okay? I get that we probably want Vivian. Vivian would be wonderful, but he doesn't own Vivian, so I've told him that I would stay away from Vivian. He already knows. As soon as he gets a chance, go buy the Vivians, alright? I think the deck needs Ripjaw Raptor. That adds more to the 4 mana slot. I really want Ripjaw Raptor. But if at that point, if we're wanting Ripjaw Raptor, we also have to have that many sources of green. So having 16 green sources, 16, yeah, Crushing Canopy against Flyers. Let's see what it looks like right now with a couple Ripjaws in it. And then Lyra. So, I mean, I've got a couple requirements that Rush just really wants me to stick to. And, you know, those are a couple Lyras. We got to have the Carnage Tyrants. We got to have the Sarkhan's Unsealings. We got to have Rekindling Phoenix. After that, we can kind of play around with it, you know, however we want. It just makes sense to keep the Regisaur Alphas, so I'm going to do that. It makes sense to keep at least 3 Infernal Hellions. I'm not coming below 3 Infernal Hellions in the Sarkhan's Unsealing deck. The card's just too damn good. So I'm just not going to come down below that. So what was my pick? What is my season pick deck? Mono Blue. It was the cheapest. It's the I will spend the least amount to receive it, and I picked this because it's the first season, right? With Mono Blue, I think that I can turn more gold into gems, so that I'll have more gems to start next season with. So that was my whole point, was just Mono Blue and grind sets and stuff. So I went Mono Blue. You can vouch for it. It's super good. What, the Mono Blue? Yeah. Yours is Unsealing? Your deck's Unsealing. Well, that's awesome, dude. That's wonderful. If your pick for, you know, for its Unsealing, what colors did you go being for? Like, so Lyra, you know how to notice how, like, when we were playing against the Doom Whisperers, like, Lyra was scary because it was like Lyra doesn't get big enough to blue, black, red. Oh, so your Grixis Unsealing. See, I like that. I like that. No green at all. Just forget the green. Okay. I can get behind that. You know, that's cool. So we're at 18 4-drops. 18 4-drops. So we cannot risk not hitting our 4th mana. Alright, so now we need a lot more to do in the early game here. This is too much. We don't have the room for this. We can't play 18 4-drops. We just can't do it. Like, that. This is just bad. So Lyra and Regisaur Alpha, like, I like our 5-drop, 6-drops. I want Shalai. Shalai doesn't work really well with Unsealing, so we'll put that in the side versus... Like, we need some stuff to do early game, and we have to sacrifice our 4-drops for that. Like, waiting to turn 4 to get started playing Magic is just way too bad. Like, we need to add something to the board early game. So what creatures in Standard in these colors for 0 to 3 converted mana cost can trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing? Bell Collector could work. Actually could. Are there anything that is there anything that would trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing? See, I wanted Llanowar Elf. That's what I wanted. I think it's still Llanowar Elf. So if we go Llanowar Elf, we get to peel back. Still leave? Yeah, but then you need 23 green sources. I don't think that's good. I'm going to go Llanowar Elf. I think Llanowar Elf is great. Tecali Honor Guard's not horrible in the current meta, and probably deserves a spot in the deck somewhere. Like, honestly, I want to run the deck kind of in this configuration right here. Raptor Hatchling is OP. It is, but I don't think this is where you want Raptor Hatchling. I know we want some Tecatli Honor Guards here. Like, do we need 4 Deafening Clarions? I know it works good with the deck. Like, where do we need Settle at? I think we can get away with 3 Tecatli Honor Guards. Deathgorge Scavenger. Man, I would love to run some Direfleet Daredevils in this deck. It doesn't work with the rest of the deck, though. So, it's not even good at, like, holding back the opponent. So, I don't... Is there not, like, a cheap, like, 3-2 or 4-2, 4-1, some kind of 4-1 creature? Relentless Raptor would be great. But for Relentless Raptor, you need like 15 red, 15 white to make the deck work. So I don't know if that fits. Howling Golem, no, none of this works. We are starting to get into a little bit more powerful creatures. Sorry guys, like I promised, you know, Rush that I would build the deck and I would record the process. So I am going to be looking at pretty much everything here. So Dragon Egg might not be bad. Dragon Egg may actually not be that bad. Dragon Egg dies, create a 2/2 dragon with flying that you can pump. It's got dragon. It's actually got true fire breathing. You know, 1 red fire breathing. So, the Cyclops. What Cyclops? What Cyclops? Oh, it's a 4/2 ogre and a 4/2 dino. Okay. I think Piston Cyclops may not be that horrible, but I don't know. I don't think we're gonna find a worthwhile Sarkhan's Unsealing trigger. And honestly, I just want the deck to work when there's not. Yeah, there's the ogre you guys are talking about. 3 mana 4/2. They can also trigger. Sarkhan's Whelp. Where you activate the ability of a Sarkhan Planeswalker, Sarkhan's Whelp deals 1 damage to any target. Oh wow, that give you something. Wow, the rain is pouring outside. Reclamation Sage may be better than Brontodon. It's probably not, but it could be, just because it's an enter the battlefield trigger. But since we've got Tecatli Honor Guard, you probably don't want Reclamation Sage. You probably don't want any enter the battlefield triggers, except for, you know, Regisaur Alpha, of which, you know, you're willing to sacrifice that chance at Regisaur Alpha. Oh my goodness. This may be the stone wall we need, because then if you do Deafening Clarion, you at least like ramp out of... Ranging Raptors is better than a lot of people give it credit for. That card's not that bad. Especially if people's way of killing things right now, so... No Honor Guard. Nah, man, I can't back off Honor Guard. Honor Guard's not a... That's not a flexible slot. I think three copies of Honor Guard pretty much have to be in the deck if you plan on beating Golgari in the 1-for-1. Golgari is going to 1-for-1 you all day long. Treasure Map seems wonderful, honestly. Honestly, Treasure Map seems really, really good. It's going to allow you to like cycle through your draws and things. Like Treasure Map could be it. Commune with dinosaurs. Yeah, that could be okay. There you go. There's that Piston Fist Cyclops you guys were talking about. It's probably Treasure Map. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like Treasure Map. This deck could also play Knight of Autumn. Knight of Autumn could give some serious flexibility in this deck. So if we don't go Land of War Elves, we don't go Brontodon. Okay, so we've got 6 cards that do not necessarily have to... I like Ripjaw Raptor, guys. I really do. But I would rather be in the air. This deck is much weirder to the air than it is a lot of other things. But Shalom doesn't trigger. I really want that draw. So we've got 6 cards that we can put in here. So map. What's going on? Come on. Come on, Magic. Show me the map. Show me the map. Oh, wait. We're on creature. Alright. Knight of the Conclave, but it's hard to cast. Yeah. Yeah, it is. So let's look at 3 treasure maps for a little bit of early action. And then we need a good 3-drop. Is the good 3-drop is it's either Knight of Autumn or it's Brontodon. I looked at Conclave. I thought of Conclave. Drover of the Mighty. So there's no reason for us to be trying to get to 3 mana on 2 other than Treasure Map. Treasure Map's actually a good enough reason to 3 mana on 2. A lot of non-bows with Deafening Clarion and Land of War Elves, Deafening Clarion, and Drover the Mighty. All of these other things, ton of non-bows there. So not 100% on any of that stuff. It may just be Wayward Swordtooth. It's probably Wayward Swordtooth. Yeah, I think it's Wayward Swordtooth. So 3 Wayward Swordtooth here. Okay. So we're still at 16 2-drops, or 4-drops. We have a little bit of action on turn 2. Treasure Map's pretty good though. Treasure Map's a really good draw engine. Is there any other way that we could make some treasures that would benefit the deck? Pretty much just this, huh? Okay, so let's say that this is fairly close to where we want to be. Pirate's Pillage. Yeah, it's not where I want to be though. I definitely don't want to be in. I don't want to be in the casting instants and sorceries unless they're like doing something to the board, like removing something for the board. So. I get that, the extra treasures equal draw. I get that, you're trading 2 cards in your hand for 2 other cards. So, Um, need to be threats or answers sideboard. You've said before you use History of Naya, but not sure. History, maybe, but I don't. I don't think you can afford the white sources for History. I also don't think that we can afford the green sources for Ribjaw Raptor here either. Not to split that with red. So Ribjaw Raptor is probably out. And that's just... And I actually want to put more less than converted mana cost 4 spells in the deck. Like, the deck needs more cheap things to do. So I want to have a little bit more removal here. So we're starting to look a little bit smoother. We go back to 25 lands, and voila. We ain't far off of your original deck right now, Rush. Just saying, like we're not a long way away from where your deck originally was at, which it was really good there. You know, the only thing we really wanted to go back and toy with was we wanted to get those Phoenixes in there, and then we wanted to make the mana base right for it. So, this could be sweet. I think Treasure Map might be what we're looking for. Early board presence, legendary. You're holding 3. You holding 3 could suck. What? Legendary what? I mean, what if we get... I don't think we're going to be holding 3 Goreclaw. They have to kill the Goreclaw. Welcome. What? Huh? 2 Goreclaws? Goreclaw's a huge piece of ramp. I don't think... I think you got room for the other Deafening Clarion in the side. I also think this is not supposed to be Deafening Clarion in the side either. Like, so we go 3 Deafening Clarions. And then we go for Answer to March of the Multitudes. This kills most of the red decks. Doesn't kill anything you've got. Doesn't even kill your little dude, Like, and it's instant speed, so you can play around with it. I'll even cut a Shala. Give you the Settle the Wreckage back that you want. Sorry guys, I'm racking my brain right now. Yeah, I don't think you come off of 3 Goreclaws. So you guys can argue that to your blue in the face. I'm not gonna listen. It's going to die. Almost like, I swear I don't have records on it, but 50 to 70% of the time that I play this, it just dies. Right? If they have a kill spell, they have a counter, they're taking the Goreclaw, right? And for that entire point, Goreclaw is a good enough card that if you're just trying to bait a counter out of their hand, they've got to answer it. I mean, they can't let Goreclaw resolve, because then you're playing multiple spells, on your turn 5. So I don't. Yeah, Rush has played this a lot. He said it himself. Goreclaw never lives. Never lives. Yeah, so. If you're holding 3, the last one's stuck in hand, but great card. Okay, swing. You've got a Sarkhan's Unsealing. Hell, play it anyway. 2/4. Keep the new untapped one. I mean, that's... Having a legendary trapped in hand is not something that I worry about. Hey, stream. It's still going. How are the games going? We played 2 games. We did some good. Now I am racking my brain brewing on exactly how I would like the configuration of the main board. Based on, versions of the deck that I've played, and based on arguing with Rush for the past, 3 days over the deck. That's what friends are for, right? Aren't we supposed to just like not take each other's word for it and argue this shit back and forth, right? You know, need some more 3-drops. Yeah, I know. I know. Brontodon looks like it just fits in this deck. Treasure Map's going to be our draw engine, right? So if we're going to use Treasure Map for draw, I don't think you need Vine Mare, dude. I don't think you need Vine Mare. Yeah. I think Vine Mare is supposed to be Brontodon. That or Swordtooth is supposed to be Brontodon. Swordtooth may be supposed to be Brontodon. But then having the green to cast this on turn and then having the red to cast this Rekindling Phoenix on turn will be a pain in the ass. Like, Treasure Map gives you something to do with all of that extra. Vine Mare beats Dimir. We beat Dimir without Vine Mare earlier, right? Right. We beat Dimir without Vine Mare earlier. I don't think you're that weak to Dimir. I don't. I really don't. I mean, you may be weak to like tempo and counter spells and things like that, but I'm okay with 2 Vine Mare here. I don't think you need Settle the Wreckage at all. Like, I just don't. Like, I think this is a wasted slot. Like, this deck, if any deck did not need Settle the Wreckage, this is the deck. And you do need something else in the air. You do need Settle. Why don't you run white for your Sarkhan's Unsealing for Settle, be informed. Just because Settle's a good card doesn't mean it's the right card. Nullhide in place of Vine Mare. You'll lose to Knights and red aggro. I am not worried about Knights. Be informed now. You're just having some fun with like pulling cards, man. I don't think this deck's worried about losing to Knights. Not with Deafening Clarion and Fiery Cannonade in the sideboard. If you're worried about aggro deck, turn 4 Settle needs 16. But I'm with you, James. The deck doesn't need, nor can it support Settle the Wreckage. So that's what I'm saying. For Angels, you're going to need to get bigger, right? I think more Shalaz to make your Lyras bigger than their Lyras, it would be important. Okay, test it. Well, I can't just make someone play Knights versus me. But I don't need to test the fact that you need 16 white sources to cast to Settle the Wreckage. We know that. Like, that's just, that's known. Settle seems like a late game Hail Mary. Crushing Canopy is it. There we go. I think that this spot is supposed to be something to deal with Lyras and things like that. Like, I think that Settle the Wreckage is supposed to be, you know, the... I think this is here against Boros Angels, right? Which a lot of people are coming off of anyway. Yes, this card's supposed to be Vivian Reed. It's 100% supposed to be Vivian Reed. Okay. I'm going to say that Settle the Wreckage is supposed to be Vivian Reed. Against Knights, early aggressive decks, things of that nature, you've got a couple options with your Deafening Clarion or your Fiery Cannonade. Fiery Cannonade is a wonderful way. It'll help, but it's not necessary. I get that Settle the Wreckage is a... You know what? I'm done. I'm not arguing Settle the Wreckage. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to. I think that this spot is supposed to be a Vivian Reed. I don't think that you can afford the double white. Because we're going to have to tweak the mana base to be able to get double red on 4, which is more important than the double white. And I think that Vivian Reed is supposed to be in this 2-drop slot. And that is because Vivian Reed can deal with enchantments, and Vivian Reed can deal with flying creatures. Until we get Vivian Reeds, until Drush can pick up some Vivian Reeds, I think we have to test this with Crushing Canopy. And I think Crushing Canopy is the card to have in this spot. If you get Vivian Reed, I would play Vivian Reed over the Crushing Canopy, even at the greater converted mana cost. I think that's what I have. I'm giving you an option here. When you get the money, you'll buy her. I'm giving you a budget option here for Vivian Reed. It's a one-shot, but a lot of times, sometimes your Vivian Reed's just going to die anyway. So, you're going to down-tick her. You're going to do the deed, and she ain't calling you back tomorrow. I went too far. That was too far. But I think that this spot's supposed to be Vivian Reed instead of Settle the Wreckage. So, you're talking to James. He's talking shit. Yeah, it's James for you. He does that. I give it right back to him though. You just gotta give him hell, man. That's right. This man's got a wedding coming up. He can't be spending money on that. Demanding Dragon may be pretty good. Demanding Dragon doesn't stop Lyra. Okay. I get that we want Lyra, but I don't think Demanding Dragon stops Lyra. Alright, so let's say this is fairly close to where we want to be, right? I really want one more Shala in the deck, but I'm okay with where we're currently at. If I had it my way, though, and I do currently have it my way, in these last games, I get to build this the way I want to build this deck. And I think that we could fit one more Shala in this deck, but I don't have one more spot, and I'm not cutting a land. So, with that in mind, we're not going to squeeze another Shala in here. One Shala will be enough. It could be cut Shaper's Sanctuary. Do you have Karn, Rush? Rush, do you have Karn? Yeah, Snapping Sellback didn't make the cut, bro. I'm sorry. I ain't got enough room. We don't need a 4th Clarion. We've got Fiery Cannonade for the really early stuff. Fiery Cannonade's going to be smoother. You don't have a Karn? Okay. I was going to cut one of those Shaper Sanctuaries for a Karn, but if you don't have a Karn, that's fine. I think that the extra Fiery Cannonades in the sideboard is going to be really good. Watley Warrior Poet. The red-white Watley could work, but I don't think that. I don't think it's necessary. I definitely think we're just like throwing fun up cards in. Like, I want every card to have a true purpose, and as of right now, I've got true purposes for absolutely each one of these cards. Like early game, I want to be setting up to make sure that I have late game. We've got good removal. We've got extra removal, things of that nature. So I mean, we can remove things with Justice Strike. As you got to remember this deck has a baseline removal built into it of 4 damage, right? So I mean, this deck already has some baseline removal in it. Sarkhan's Unsealing, you get that down, you're going to start doing some removal. You've got board wipes and things like that. I mean, this deck has some stuff. You just need to make sure that you survive till turn 4 and get that down against the non-control decks. But against the control decks, you need to make sure that you have enough threats to actually push enough damage that they can't stop you. So, like when we beat the Dimir deck there in that last game, it was because we brought in absolutely every threat possible and then kind of took it from there. Oh man, yeah. Let's throw some Scarab Gods and Hazards, Aronis, and you know what? An Oketra too. Let's just get them all in there. Man. We tried that back then. We wanted to anyway, you know. Sarkhan's Unsealing was out for just a little while with them. Sunbird's Invocation would be good. It would probably be better than Shaper Sanctuary for your draw cards. It really would, for your draw spell. In the sideboard, it would probably actually be better than your Shaper Sanctuary. Just saying. You cast a Carnage Tyrant, you dig 7 cards deep and get whatever the hell you want. Sarkhan's Unsealing says whenever you cast a creature spell, doesn't have to be cast from your hand. So that you're getting into a little bit of extra jank there, but I just don't like Shaper Sanctuary in this deck. I just don't. Like, I think that this is the spot we need to play with for additional card draw or additional value. But you done hit me in the feels with the Invocation though, because that's my pet card. That's like my favorite card in all of Standard right now. That's not good. That's my favorite good, like, bad card. I mean, it's a 6-mana enchantment that does nothing the turn that it hits the battlefield. I mean, let's face it, that's a bad card. What you can do with it if you untap with the damn thing though is absolutely insane. Like game-breaking, back-breaking, crazy shit. Like, just cast anything. You're just going to go get more stuff. It's going to be amazing. And the beautiful part about this deck is you've got so many 4-drops that as long as you're casting a 4-drop or better, you're just going to get more stuff. So, the mana base needs more work or the curve needs more work. I already get that the curve's out of whack being 14 4-drops. Alright? But that's how this Sarkhan's Unsealing's deck's going to work. That we know that that's how Sarkhan's Unsealing's deck's going to work, because we ain't got anything else that'll trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing at the lower converted mana cost. And we're already running the only real playable 3-drop that can trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing. So I know as far as the curve goes, it's jacked. It is completely jacked up. So, yeah. Well, if you remember back when the old Sunbird's Invocation decks come out, you know, those had 16 to 18, you know, the blue or the red-white Sunbird's Invocations control decks. They were just full-on 4-drops. Because if you hit anything that was 4-drop or better, you were just going to get another 4-drop or better, just period. And the only thing they had in the early game was some removal. You know, they just had, you know, the red board wipe and you know, some lightning strikes to do removal, and then some treasure maps to guarantee that they got their land drops, which is probably terrific. I'm gonna do it, Rush. Kill me. I hate the like, this deck really does. It was. I was thinking Sunbirds earlier in place of that card. So I'm gonna do it. We're gonna. What? Where's Sunbirds? Why is... Oh, I'm still on converted mana cost. That's why. Oh, filters. Filters, filters, filters. It is 1 a.m. 1:45 a.m. use this against your control decks for draw. You keep staring at Captivating Crew. Nullhide better than Sunbirds for this build. But that's not the slot we're trying to fill, bro. I'm sorry, Be Informed, but we don't have a, like, we're not looking for a slot. Okay, so if we wanted to run Nullhide, we do have a slot that is dedicated for Dimir, right? Nullhide would be really, really good at fighting the Dimir decks that want to target your creatures, that want to make you discard. Nullhide would 100% fit in here versus instead of Vinemare, okay? If I were going to put Nullhide in the deck, Nullhide would take the spot of Vinemare. Currently, Sunbirds is not trying to fight in that spot. Sunbirds is fighting in the spot of the additional draw spells in the sideboard. Personally, I think it should be Karn. Okay, I 100% think that this draw spot, this 2-mana draw spot, should be Karn. He doesn't have the money for Karn, so I'm not going to be using Karn. We are looking for a card that gives us additional card advantage. All right, we're not using. We're like. You only got so many slots in your sideboard. They all have to have a purpose. So, I know I'm getting pissy as hell here, and some of you guys are going to get pissed at me. But I'm telling you, like, if you just go start sticking, oh, let's put some Nullhides in here, and let's do this other stuff. If you want to put Nullhides in here, Nullhide needs to take this spot. The spot of Vinemare, because Vinemare, Commune with Dinosaurs is just not going to do it. I don't need to just go... I would run Thunderherd Migration over Commune with Dinosaurs. And, like, at this point, we've actually taken more and more dinosaurs out of the deck. Commune with Dinosaurs needs between 11 and 15, or 11 or more dinosaurs, and that is directly out of Reed Duke himself's mouth, that you need 11 or more dinosaurs in the deck to have... We have no 1 converted mana cost. Then we play a tap land on turn 1 and don't pay for it. Vinemare could be Nullhide, and I know you just bought Nullhide's Rush. I don't think you want it to be Nullhide. I think you just want it to be Vinemare, but it could be Nullhide. Alright, so now we got to fix the mana base. Alright, so we need 16 red sources here. And, alright, let's look at the chart. Okay, so if we need to cast a... So we need to cast a 4 mana spell that is 2 red. Okay, so if we need to cast 2 red... so a card like Damnation, we need 16 red sources. Alright. Now, we also have a 6 mana green spell. So, we need to look at that as well. And with that one, we need to look at 13 green sources. So, we need 16 red sources with 13 green sources. But, we wouldn't mind having 14 white sources for... our Baneslayer Angel, Lyra Dawnbringer. Alright, so we're looking for 16 red, 13 green, and 14 white. Here we go. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13... Alright, so that's 13 there. But we also need to be able to cast Deafening Clarion on 3, or it's pointless. Casting Justice Strike on 2 could be pointless, but that's normally not exactly what we're wanting to do. Like, Justice Strike could very well just be Lightning Strike and go from there. The mana is good. Count them. Not here. It's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What'd I do? What'd I do? Damn it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's probably another Sacred Foundry or a Clifftop Retreat. We already have all the Clifftop Retreats. So, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys are gonna. I'm gonna ignore you guys for a minute. I'm sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One more Sacred Foundry. All right. So. So we go one more. One more Sacred Foundry. And then we go one less white, one less green here. Alright, so now we need to hit... How many green did I say we needed? Alright, so we need to go back to Carnage Tyrant. To cast Carnage Tyrant, we need 13 green sources. Alright, so let's go to green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we need one more green source. So we're one short on green sources. And that may be a sacrifice we have to make if we want to be able to hit Lyra. Because we also need to hit... Alright, so how many white sources? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 white sources. So we're one short on enough sources to hit Carnage Tyrant, one short on enough Lyra, but that helps us hit our Deafening Clarion. Kind of like it. Like, the important part here, Banefire wouldn't be bad. Banefire wouldn't be bad at all for just like finishing the game out. Alright. We don't have a spot for, like, if I was gonna do anything, if I was gonna put Banefire in the deck, it would just take the place of Justice Strike. So I don't know. I think the mana base is right here. It's as right as it's going to be at 25 land. One additional land would allow us to open up one more green source and one more white source. Like, we need one more green source and one more white source to just hit perfect. But that would require running 26 land, and we would want to cut something else, and then that would be shitty. But right now we're guaranteed to hit the Rekindling Phoenix on 4, or at least 90% of the time. So yeah, I like the idea of Banefire. Don't get me wrong, I do, especially in a deck like this. You know, we could have these huge Banefires. It could also be Fight with Fire, right? Like, Fight with Fire might actually be where to go. Instead of Justice Strike, like, but Fight with Fire doesn't deal with something like Doom Whisper, right? And the main thing that we're worried about here is opposing Doom Whispers and Lyras, right? Because even the control decks have some Doom Whispers, and even the control decks have Lyras. We're not 100% building this for the entire meta, but Rush's meta. And Rush's meta is apparently very full of control decks and a couple burn decks. So we do need some answers against some burn decks and things like that. That's why Lyra's kind of a must here. I think this is the right mana base, Rush. Like, I think we're right on the mana base. Like, I think this is as good as we're going to get. We do know that we're one green source and one white source short of being able to cast the Lyra and the Carnage Tyrant 100%, like 90% of the time on schedule. But we're only one land off of that, but we are on the Rekindling Phoenix on 4, which is fine, and we're we're on the Deafening Clarion on 3, which is fine. So I kind of like that. The chances of being able to get to guarantee that we can turn to a Justice Strike every game would just upset the green sources so much that it would just be, it would be bad. So I don't think we can go there. So Justice Strike itself is looking like, based on the options we have for mana, if we want everything else to work great, an early Justice Strike might be completely out of the question. This may be better served as Lightning Strike. Just may be better served as Lightning Strike. Sorry, man. That's it. I mean, that's where it's at. So, but that doesn't kill Lyra. That doesn't kill Shala. That doesn't kill most of what you need to kill. So I think we just have to bite the bullet on the Justice Strike and just say, hey, you know, we're just gonna, sometimes we're gonna be able to cast it, sometimes we're not. So all right, let me pull some cards, and we'll get some games in. I know some of you are like, hey, let's play some Magic. So, and then some of you already left, and you're like, I don't give a damn. So, but this was not for everyone. This was something that I said that I would do for Rush, that I wanted to do for Rush here. And the only thing in here that should probably be something else, these Sunbird's Invocations, you can run them as Shaper Sanctuary or Sunbird's Invocation, whatever you want to do. I think they should be Karn. Okay, just flat out, I think these two cards should be Karn, and I think these two Crushing Canopies should be Vivian Reed. Okay, that's where I'm at on it. I'm not making it those two cards because I know you don't have those cards, and we're going to try it with it some other way. Please play a non-budget version of Deb's Mono Black Burn. There's not a non-budget version. There's not a non-budget version. That deck doesn't get expensive, period. It's like the spells that make the Mono Black Burn don't get non-budget. You can add Vraska's Contempt to it, which would make it a little bit more expensive, but you're not having to sink money into a you're not having to sink money into a mana base or anything like that, which is going to save you a fortune. So the deck is pretty close to where it needs to be without having to add more money to it. Add Vraska's Contempt to it. It'll make you feel like you've put more money in the deck. Add Full Art Lands. It'll get more expensive. But as far as the deck itself goes, it's pretty well built around a synergy that just happens to be cheap. So, I mean, it's kind of like the Surveil deck. You're going to be able to pick up the Surveil deck from between, $20 and $50, depending on how much you put in the lands, and it's just never going to get more expensive because the cards themselves just aren't expensive. So, but I do like the Mono Black Burn. I do like it. All right, so I've cleaned up the wish list, so we're going to add these cards to wish list. So this is what we need. We need Clifftop Retreats. Alright, so let's do this. We'll export. We're in the Naya's Unsealing. We'll save. Alright, so manatraders. I have bookmarked this, by the way. This is so good. I gotta sit down later and just read this entire article. Alright, deck builder. Yeah, Sunbirds may actually just be amazing. But I think that spot's supposed to be Karn. So, Joseph, thank you very much for subscribing. I really would love to build you a non-budget version so that you could, sink some money into it. But the deck, it's just the deck, man. It just nobody's playing those cards. But when you put them together, they're just a mean-ass deck. And that's great. That's great that deck's floating around. It's definitely like tier 2.5. It's a sweet deck. It's just like the Surveil decks. It's floating around there at like tier 2.5, tier 2, something like that. And you can just really wreck some people with that deck. So, all right. So let's import a deck real quick. We'll get the cards that we need. Well, pick up the wish list. Guys, I'm going to click rent here as soon as these cards pull up. I'm going to go refill the old coffee cup, and we'll come back, and I'm going to play about 2 or 3 games with this before bedtime here tonight. So, here we go. Rush, by the way, dude, if you're still watching, or you're watching this later, I've given every piece of thought I can to this deck. This is right? Throw 20 unstable swamps in that deck, and it ain't budget no more. Alright, I'll be back in just a moment, guys. Enjoy the music. I'll crank it up for you guys, and I'm going to refill the coffee cup. Take me about 3 to 5 minutes. I don't have hot coffee, so I'm going to have to microwave me some. All right, guys, we're back. Let's kill the music here a little bit. Yep, they automatically try to open a trade with you. If you don't open the trade, you can always go back and click this button anytime within the first 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and clear that wish list. What's up, guys? Anyone still with me? Anyone still with me here? Hopefully. If not, though, I'm about to have some fun with Sarkhan's Unsealing. I'm probably about to claim this as my version of Sarkhan's Unsealing at this point. Ooh, they gave us one of these beautiful ones. I'm really good at this. What? Sure. But thank you. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I'm definitely about to claim this as my version of Sarkhan's Unsealing. This is how I would run Sarkhan's Unsealing if I really put... am I considering spandex yet? No. No, and I'll show you why. I got me a really tight sock last night, and I kept my foot elevated, so it helped with the swelling a lot. And now I'm in a robo boot, so I got me a robo boot. Hey, Layla. Hey, puppy dog. Hey, you guys want to hear something that's awesome? Alright, so first off, my wife took off for a few days because it broke, well, it didn't break my foot. I broke some cartilage and pulled a tendon in my foot. So, yes, the boot has helped so much. I've got to go tomorrow and pick up my crutches, but I can pretty much get around now without the without crutches. It's slow. Anyway, this is awesome. This is awesome. Okay, so my wife, when I walked in there just a moment ago, so she's off for a few days, so she's staying up late. I walk in, she's playing Call of Duty, and she's like, I just went 18-5. I've also got a secret to getting your lady to play Magic the Gathering, and you guys won't like it, but the fact that my wife just told me, she's like, I just went 18-5. That's cool. That's cool right there. So, anyway, we've got our deck. Properties. My Naya Unsealing deck. I'm going to export this. I think this is how I would run it. You want to get your lady to play Magic. You guys ready for this? And I told James this because it doesn't just work for your lady. Anyone that doesn't naturally have that affinity for Magic the Gathering, and you wanting to get them into Magic the Gathering, you know, your significant other, whatever, and you want to get them into Magic the Gathering, they must have your best deck. That means you got to play some jank, right? You got to play some Sunbird's Invocation, some Sarkhan's Unsealing. You got to play some jank. Meanwhile, they're over there playing your Golgari deck, right? They're over there playing your Dimir control deck. They're over there playing your Grixis control deck or something like that. You can always play Strip Magic. So we both start with 20 pieces of clothing. 20 total pieces of clothing. First person naked loses. I like it. I like it. You gain life, you put some clothing back on. see. So we got one. Oh, we got 2 socks. We got gloves. So that's 4. You got pants and underwear. That's 6. Shirt, overshirt, jacket. I don't know. That you can figure it out. You can figure it out. Beanie. You start all bundled up and everything, trying to play Magic, and then halfway through it, right? Some strip Magic. I like it. All right, guys. This is the deck. This is the configuration. Everything in the deck's got a purpose. I'm gonna join the game. Play my version of Sarkhan's Unsealing. All right, Rush. I know that you bought those first 2 games. Those were for you. I played your deck, the version of the deck that you sent me. Now at this point, I'm playing the version of the deck that I think we should play. This is a bad hand, but it could be good. I'm gonna keep. We're on the draw, so we will get to see one more card before. Ooh. Let's go ahead and rootbound Craig. Runaway Steamkin. Sunpetal Grove. We need an untapped source right here. This is it. We need that untapped source. Untapped off the top. Come on, give it to me. Untapped land off the top. We have to have it right now. We have to have that untapped source. Damn. Missed it. Missed it. Okay. I mean, it's not just, we're not just dead yet, though. This is the ooh. See, keep churning. Ooh. Sacred Foundry. Well, we're definitely going to Deafening Clarion here. Didn't get lucky on the untapped source there. Last turn, that Sacred Foundry would have been epic. Epic. We're not just dead, though. Goblin War Chief. This is pretty close to dead, though. This is pretty daggum close to dead. Yeah, that was a good draw for the opponent. I ain't gonna lie, the opponent just he curved out really well. All right, so I'm gonna play Regisaur Alpha. I mean, that draw would have been hard for any deck to beat. Too much cowbell? Yeah. Needs more cowbell. Well, it was definitely a little much on the cowbell. He didn't swing! Ho-ho! Do we get the chance? if we might get the chance to clean everything up here. Goblin Instigator. Another Runaway Steamkin. Skirk Prospector. I don't think we get the opportunity to live through this. All these goblins. It's just a little too much. Yeah, the Runaway Steamkins ran away. Yeah, the Hellion would have been so good. Yeah, if he didn't have like this just amazing draw here, Hellion would have been just amazing. And he did all of this off of his Runaway Steamkins. He's got it on board. I don't know why he just don't swing. We stop at 3. We stop at 2. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He had such a good draw. You've been super testing Grixis mid-range, and it's getting better. It's just odd cards in the side. You're running 2 Eldest Reborn over round. He passed! He didn't swing! Goreclaw? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Goreclaw. We'll do the damage to him. Infernal Hellion. I cannot believe the opponent didn't swing. I can't believe that. That is just real. I'm only going to get in for 3 here. Next turn, we're just going to try to gain a ton of life. He could still just burn us out here. I also could have just went Goreclaw, or not Goreclaw, but Infernal Hellion for 4. But I wouldn't have had enough mana to also Deafening Clarion. So, depending on how, like, just hardcore the opponent goes on me here, which, okay, Karn doesn't just kill us. Firebrand. Skirk Prospector. I can't friggin' believe we just got away with that shit. I can't believe that. Karn's a good way to flip the top card. Yeah, he didn't do math. Okay, never mind. More cowbell. Needs more cowbell. Right. Alright, so Fiery Cannonade's going to be pretty good here. Deathgorge Scavenger for life gain's probably going to be pretty good. Treasure Map's going to be a little slow. Right? He scooped. He doesn't want to play with us. He doesn't want to play with us. Oh, no, 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 no. Leave the match. I'm sorry. Sorry, Steve. I had the wrong deck. My bad, Steve. Steve still wanting to play. Steve still wants to play. No, John's playing Steve. Alright, so we'll leave this match and we'll go play Goodbye, My Love. Alright, here we go. Yeah, the opponent made such a mistake. Such a huge mistake. If he would have just swung, we were dead. And didn't do math. Richard Garfield, the Allfather, was a mathematician. Do math when you play Magic. You'll be much better. Alright, so we won the dice roll. We're on the play. Ooh, this mana base. I'm going to keep... I'll start with a Clifftop Retreat. Highland Lake. Hey, look, we Justice Strike on too. We don't have a 3-drop anyway, so we'll still be treasure map at the same time. I didn't know if there would be an aggressive creature come out. Yeah, Unsealing's stupid good. It really is. Unfortunately, it's a do-nothing card. I'm going to put that on top. Multiple Unsealings seem like they're probably going to be pretty good. We're not going to be tapping treasure map this turn. I'm just going to be playing a Sarkhan's Unsealing and see if we can slap that down before the opponent can stop us. And I may just be willing to play another Unsealing next turn and treasure map. Ooh, radical idea. Hell yeah. Let's do this. Let's go, Jeskai. Budget Jeskai, but Jeskai. Yeah, the more Unsealing, the deadlier. Absolutely. I mean, cast Lyra, deal 8 damage. Hell yeah, I'll take that. Legion Warboss. Is that a thing? That's a card, right? There's an Infernal Hellion. I'm gonna go ahead and cast the Unsealing here. Go ahead and treasure map too. Another on top. Sure. Okay. The opponent needs to do a ton of stuff. Sealing is very good and needs to be dealt with, and it's hard to deal with it, especially in Grixis colors. Grixis colors, Izzet colors, even main board against most of the Jeskai control decks, they just really can't deal with it. I mean, if you can get it on the battlefield, you can find that nice little gap, then you're fine. I don't think we need more Hellion. We've got 6. He bounced it. He blink of an eyed it. Okay. Getting in there. Well, opponent. I'm still going to Hellion you. I don't... Yeah, I know that this is a treasure map and there's no point in wasting it. So, let's cast Hellion. We'll Sarkhan's Unsealing. I mean, counter the Hellion, that's fine. Board wipe after board wipe. Yeah, I mean... Let's go ahead and do this. Land... So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 6, 7 with the other land. So we can play Treasure Map and Lyra Dawnbringer, or we can play Sarkhan's Unsealing, Treasure Map, activate Treasure Map. Sure, dude. Like I mean, that thing's already done its work. We know we got the mountain. We'll play the mountain. I think that I just want to play the other Sarkhan's Unsealing. He Radical Ideas it, which does nothing, and he just draws a card. We'll play the Treasure Map. I could actually just play Lyra right there. We'll pass. End of turn here. I'm going to sack a treasure, draw another card. I mean, we're 2 4-drops away from... I could sack both of the treasures. I'm not going to now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Carnage Tyrants make up for the other. We're good. We're set. Let's put one on Treasure Map here. Lyra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, not enough. We'll put it on the bottom. Land. Carnage Tyrant. Double Sarkhan's Unsealing. Yeah, you can. I mean, because of the converted mana cost of them, yeah, you can. I mean, like, you still need to be able to play things. I think that 3 Infernal Hellions work fine because, you know, if you do hit with it or you block with it, it does just get shuffled right back into the library. I think you only need so many board wipes, and then everything else, just cast triggers, will deal with most of the things. So you want enough that you're going to see, you know, a couple of the board wipes, but after that, you just, you know, you can just 1-for-1. Like, you play a creature, and then you just kill whatever else they played. Like, you want to, like, kind of start everything out with a Hellion, and just kind of go over there, bro. Did you see this? Your opponent, goodbye, my love, has disconnected. He just... he just DC'd. That Carnage Tyrant hit him so hard it shut his internet down. Oh. Game over. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just got pissed and he just scooped it up. I mean, we just cast Lyra next turn and kill him anyway. Is he gonna sit here for 20 minutes because he's a douche like that? Like, I mean, is he just gonna leave disconnected? Whatever. Whatever. I think Treasure Map's really good here. I'm liking Treasure Map already. And that, you know, that was like the first game that we seen a Treasure Map, but I'm already liking Treasure Map. So, all right, so we've got 2 lands, which means we can Justice Strike. 1 more land puts us into Deafening Clarion. We don't have a Sarkhan's Unsealing. We're only 1 white source away from being able to hit a Lyra, which we should be able to hit due to our mana base being fixed. I mean, we're 90% at Hap. Yeah, map. Yeah. Thank you very much. I mean, map's definitely probably what we were looking for there. So thank you, thank you. I appreciate all the help that chat gives, and you know, it's not always the greatest thing in the world, but sometimes there's some jewels. Sometimes there's some jewels. All right, so he's going to keep a 6-card hand. This is probably a really bad hand to keep, but it will be all right. And I'm going to start with the Sun Petal Grove instead of the Mountain, because in turn 2 we can have the Mountain come in on tap, and then we're live for. We need to draw some lands, though, but we're live on Justice Strike now, and then we're 1 land away from being live on Deafening Clarion. I might just Justice Strike that. I guess we wait. Yeah. It's going to be a bad draw. This is probably too early to shoot this. Probably should just take that 3. Glow Spore Shaman, it's still 3, so yeah, shooting this or shooting the Glow Spore, it wouldn't have mattered. Getting bad land screwed here, so that's not cool. Yeah, the old mana screw happens. That's why the mana screw is one of our nice emojis. The sideboard MTG mana screw. Another Deafening Clarion. I'm gonna get rid of Wayward Swordtooth. Mana screwed. Demon of Catastrophes. Card's not bad. Like, I mean, 4 mana, it's not bad. Sun Petal. Only tapped land that would not have come in untapped. Yeah, I feel bad that I haven't been taking the extra damage off and, like, keeping the Justice Strike available. Yeah, that pretty much signifies death for us here. Our next land should be a red land, though. Ooh. Do we live 1 additional turn? We do live 1 more turn, I think. No, because he gets to bring back Demon of Catastrophes with his Journey to Eternity. Yeah. All right. Where are we at? Yeah, we were at just not drawing turn 7 before, you know, we got our 3rd mana. All right, so we want some Deathgore Scavengers because that does things. Tocatli Honor Guard in this matchup because that's a thing. Don't think Lyra's going to be good enough. And I don't think Wayward Swordtooth is going to be good enough. So, cut Wayward Swordtooth. And I cut... Like, his deck has a chance to be a long, grindy deck, so I'm going to keep in the treasure maps. Tocatli Honor Guard, even if it just trades with, like, some Glowspore Shamans, things like that, that'll be fine. Maybe we remove Regisaur Alpha, remove 1 Gore Claw, and I mean, Deafening Clarion's probably still going to be good here. Maybe it's not as good as I want it to be here. You know what? Let's say we keep Lyra. We bring in Shala over one of the Phoenixes. And I still need to cut one other thing. We brought in a lot of cards that do not trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing, so I'm actually going to remove one Sarkhan's Unsealing. And I'm going to run it back like this. Some argument to bring in Vinemayor, but yeah. Oh yeah, Gruul is going to be so good for Sarkhan's Unsealing. We were looking at building the mana base earlier and just needing the extra red-green lands. Man, that would have just been great. This isn't horrible. Treasure map may help us fix what we need to fix. This could be fine. We'll just turn to treasure map and then go from there. Remove Honor Guard. His whole deck's based around enter the battlefield trigger. Like, that's the whole point of Honor Guard, is enter the battlefield triggers. Hurts us? Have you seen the Golgari deck? We don't have a lot of enter the battlefield triggers. We just have Regisaur Alpha. So I don't know. I think that the Honor Guard sticks around. I don't think that we can risk losing to the major Golgari deck, Golgari deck, but I don't think we can risk losing to it. Let's put that on top. So now is Glowspore Shot do much? And it's just when creatures enter the battlefield, not when they cast or things like that. So, like, now Fine Brokers aren't going to work, Ravenous Chupacabras aren't going to work. I mean, he can still, like, sack something and play his Demon of Catastrophes, which is going to be a pain in the ass, but there ain't a lot I can do about that. See, look, he's got Golgari Finebroker. Honor Guard shuts that down. He's got Merfolk Branchwalker. Honor Guard shuts that down. If he had Wild Growth Walker, all of the Wild Growth Walker cards, Explorer, they all do it upon entering the battlefield, so probably shouldn't have used my red source there. Let's leave that on top, because that's our second red. And now we'll just buy time until we can get our Lyra Dawnbringer down. Cast down. There we go. I mean, that's the thing, I guess. He called Elf. Is this an Elf deck? Elf? That's Elf. Fine Broker. See, he had to kill the Takami Honor Guard before he could even cast Fine Broker. He's going to use Fine Broker to bring Shala. Alright, well. At least he didn't have like a Reclamation Sage. Sarkhan's Unsealing would be sweet. Let's use the green source here. Regisaur Alpha's not bad. Let's put that on top. And then we'll draw, play the Sun-Petaled Grove. Play Regisaur and build a board state. I mean, it costs us a treasure, but, you know, that's okay. Right, I know we took one out because there's a lot of cards in the deck now that do not trigger it. So, it'd still be sweet, but it's not what I think we have to win this game. I'm actually more worried about being able to get Lyra and Shala together. See, it's Tocatli Honor Guard stops Ravenous Chupacabra. He had to kill that card. Tocatli Honor Guard would have stopped his whole deck. He had to kill it. We're going to trade with what we can trade with here. Two cards left in hand. Carnage Tyrant will help. Carnage Tyrant would have been better than Regisaur? Yeah, I guess. But then he would have still been holding a Ravenous Chupacabra and would have eaten our Lyra? I don't know. I don't know if that's the right sequencing or not, but... Ooh. Ready to watch him scoop? Inner scoop phase. Inner scoop phase. We're just going to go ahead and finish off the Vivian Reed. He's got a Journey to Eternity in hand. Golgari Finebroker gets back what? Golgari Finebroker? We cast Lyra, kill Golgari Finebroker. Play Golgari Finebroker, gets back another Golgari Finebroker. Yeah. Surprised he didn't get back to Vivian Reed to... Drop Lyra and he probably scoops. Yeah. Considering he was going to be at 2 points. We're just going to hit him for 14 right there. Okay. Okay. I mean, we still have to be able to deal with his flyers. So, good game, opponent. Yeah. I think I made the right plays there. I'm going to bring in the Crushing Canopies here on the draw. On the draw, I think we still have to worry about the Demon of Catastrophes at least somewhat. This card's probably still bad, though. Like, Vivian Reed would fit this spot in this particular fight a little bit better. So, maybe we don't. Shala might be a little bit too slow. Alright. Tocatli Honor Guard still murks his deck. Deathgorge Scavenger picks at the graveyard. This is still the sideboard slot that I'm on the mix about. Like, what is the best graveyard hate? So, you know, I don't know. I don't think we have to pull anything else out. Like, I kind of want to bring the other Rekindling Phoenix in. I'm going to take a little Graveyard Hate out. Okay, well, we can get our treasure going. We have Sarkhan's Unsealing. We have Infernal Hellion. I'm gonna keep. Treasure map could take us there. No, we're not bringing it in untap. So turn 1 tap land is like one of the best things we can do here. Yep. I mean, we've got our answer to the flying 6/6. I think treasure map is 100% the proper piece to draw. I really like it. It may be the only good option. Silent Gravestone. No, I think it's Relic. I think it's actually the Remorseful Cleric. We were looking at it for life gain. I was looking at it for life gain, but I think it's actually Remorseful Cleric. I think Remorseful Cleric is the better card to put in the slot, just because it exiles all of their graveyard. Just bam, done. And I mean, it is a creature that has to resolve, but you get to get rid of it at instant speed. So I think it's Remorseful Cleric. You're just thinking out. Ooh. Top. We hit a land. There we go. Pass the turn. Do we want to naturally try to draw land next turn? I wonder. Yeah, I think that Deathgorge Scavenger is going to have to be Remorseful Cleric. Deathgorge just doesn't seem like it does enough, you know, to really punish these decks. Well, you son of a gun. No point in eating it. It's not a card that he can get back. It's not a creature to gain life. I'd rather have it on the battlefield for swinging. Chupacabras. Cotley Honor Guard can block the Chupacabra. A bit more time to get the Sarkhan's Unsealing down. I assume he has to keep Vivian Reed around. Look, Chupacabra didn't do anything. Alright, here we go. My wife is watching me online. I can hear her in the other room. I just heard myself say Chupacabra didn't do anything. Look, the Golgari Fine Broker for no value. Oh my god, we need land. A Golgari Fine Broker for 0 value. I mean, yes, he's got Atsoul. We're on turn 8 and we've hit 3 land. This deck may need 26 land. You didn't like this card. You didn't like this card, B. Kylie Honor Guard shuts his Golgari deck down. Take it all back. Need one more land. Commune with dinosaurs. Right. We're so dead, but no land. This is the only thing that's going to beat this deck. There's no land. That's it. That's all that's going to beat this deck. Only because we didn't hit land. We stopped the Chupacabra. We stopped the Golgari Fine Broker. We stopped the re-entering of the Chupacabra. That if you're playing against Golgari, Tocatli Honor Guard is the best answer we've found. They have to use cards that sometimes aren't even in the deck to be able to stop it. So I want to play another game, but I actually don't have time. We're looking at 3 o'clock in the morning for me, guys. So I'm going to be calling it a night. The deck may need a little bit more on the mana base. After going back and looking at Deathgorge Scavenger, it's not going to be eating enough cards out of the graveyard quick enough. So I think I'm going to go this route with the deck, and yeah, I think this is the route that I'm going to take with the deck right here. So we're going to go Brontodon. One Brontodon in the sideboard. It's probably not right. There's supposed to be an E in there, isn't it? Definitely an E in there. Am I still wrong? No. There we go. And Remorseful Cleric. I think this is your better graveyard options right here. I think you just play Remorseful Cleric, and then as soon as they go to do something, you just like bam, sacrifice Remorseful Cleric, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. So, yeah. I'm sorry, Spartan. My bad, dude. My bad. Thanks for watching, though, man. I appreciate everyone for coming out tonight. You know, Rush asked me to like really look over his deck and give it, you know, just one like just break everything down. And I think as we break things down, I think after playing Golgari there, I just realized that, you know, our destroy their graveyard options just aren't enough. Silent Gravestone could be it, but Silent Gravestone does get taken out, so Arrgh. I got you, buddy. I got you. Silent Gravestone could be what will help against the Golgari decks, but I think Remorseful Cleric will do it too. So I do think that we need like some way to destroy an artifact or something like that. This will still be the only artifact destruction in the deck. We do have Crushing Canopies again. I think the Crushing Canopies should be Vivian Reed's, and I think that the draw spell, the draw spell has been great. Like Treasure Map has been just Yeah, it's been the nut, and I have loved Treasure Map. It's been great. Helped us get into all the things we needed to. Sunbird's Invocation. This should be Karn. Again, I just think this should be Karn. Karn and Vivian Reed and this spot, and I think we would be okay. Other than that, I would have to work on exactly like what I would side out, what I would bring in, that sort of thing. I think in a lot of matchups, you're just going to peel back on some of your 4-ofs. In most matchups, you're probably going to take a Goreclaw out, something like that. So, want to see your Unsealing deck? Yes, I do. As always, post it over on the Reddit, man. We've got a sideboard MTG Reddit. And the link's in the description box below. And hey, other people may like your Unsealing deck. There are going to be people giving you feedback on it over there. So if you post something, take everything with a sifter. If you know what a sifter is, use your shit sifter. And as people are saying, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that, just sift through it. Take the good with the bad, and people will ask you questions about it and stuff like that. It's a great place to get some feedback. Yeah, that's just kind of how things go, man. If people upvote it, we may play it this Subscriber Sunday. This Sunday, I play all the I play 3 decks from the sideboard MTG subreddit every Sunday that were posted in that week. So whatever 3 decks get the most votes in that week, I'll play them. So yeah. Yeah, positive and negative feedback. If you're somebody who likes to look at decks and give feedback, by all means. Don't be just rude. I'm the only one who's rude around here. But don't be rude to people and you'll be fine. And just like MTG Bobby Q there, who is also a Magic streamer or a Magic YouTuber. If you're new to Magic the Gathering, you are new to streaming, use the Sideboard MTG subreddit. Nah, you were fine. You were fine. You just opinionated, and that's opinionated is not rude. That is your right. It is also my right to ignore you. People get mad about a lot of stuff, but you paint your own reality in life, and you can choose to be mad about things. You can choose not to be mad about things. And but anyway, like I was saying about Bobby Q there, you check out his channel, man. He's trying to get some more stuff going on. And he's trying to get some more subscribers and things like that. And if you're a new YouTube streamer, Twitch streamer, if it's Magic content, by all means you can post your videos. You can post advertisements for your videos. By all means, don't spam the hell out of the Reddit. But you're more than welcome to post on my Reddit. Or our Reddit, ever how you want to look at it. But you're more than welcome to post on the Reddit until you get up to 1,000 subscribers. And I put a cap there. If you're a channel with 1,000 subscribers, don't be posting on my Reddit. Build your own Reddit. At that point, you have a following. Start building your own Reddit and let it grow. And that's what I'm doing. This was some advice that I was given when I first started, and I think it was very solid advice. And now I try to pass that advice forward. So take it for what you will, but by all means, until you get to 1,000 subscribers, until you get your monetization going with YouTube, at that point, you should probably build your own Reddit. And but until then, feel free to post online. And the main reason I say this is because when I first got started, I was having a hell of a time trying to find a place to post my advertising. Like, hey, come check out my channel, and it was just hard to find a community that I could fit into. And I said I don't want to do that to other people. So as my channel grows, I will always be welcoming new streamers, new people to Magic, new people to the community, and I think it'll come back to me. I think it'll come back to me sevenfold, even. If you know that old saying. Thanks for the support. Still having issues with overlays and chat, but just building up experience right now. Bobby, I was asked just the other day to give some advice, some feedback on, building an overlay and things like that. I build my own overlays, and I love you too, honey. Good night. I'm building overlays and stuff. I do build my own overlays, and as you can see, they're not like the prettiest things in the world, but I do think that simplicity is really good. So I mean, my overlay, it looks pretty simple, but it hides a lot of the stuff that's going on, like down here on my bar. Like, nobody wants to see. Like, I learned very early that nobody wants to see your Windows bar. Nobody wants to see, what icons you got, what windows you got open, all that crap. So out of all things, just make sure that you cover certain parts of your overlay. And I'm going to be doing a video here soon, just because I've been asked to do a video on it. A couple people have asked me. Is formerly Cosmo 19? No crap, Cosmo. Well, by all means, dude. That's cool. I didn't realize that. I like barbecue, because I'm thinking like, I'm gonna go eat me some magic barbecue. I don't know. I'm sorry. That's probably a too Louisianan for most of y'all. But anyway, yeah, I will. So that was you that was asking me to do the video. I will do that. I'll make a video here soon, building an overlay, doing things like that, and we'll see if it helps. We'll see if it helps. Plus, that might reach out to some other community or something. We might actually end up getting some more people into Magic in general from that. So we'll see what happens. That's all I've got for tonight, guys. Man, it's been a lot of fun building this deck, hanging out with you guys. Rush, if you're still watching at this point, I know at this point you'll be watching a replay and everything, but if you are still watching Rush, by all means, dude, take everything I gave you with a grain of salt. Remember, when it all comes down to it, you have to register a deck. The deck you register is yours. Any decisions, any advice that anyone gave you, it all boils down to what you put in your 75, 76, whatever, and what you take to your tournament. So I hope that something from this video, something from the testing and things tonight helped. If you take anything out of what we've done, I 100% think that Be Informed was right on Treasure Map. Treasure Map was the draw piece we were looking for this deck. It's the ramp piece we were looking for this deck. It's the shuffling through our deck to find the right card we were looking for. It does all the things. It comes down at the right time. Also, the mana base is pretty on point. It's pretty on point. We were able to cast things. We were never having color problems. The only thing that we were having a problem with was just not having enough lands in general. If you're going to do anything else, go to 26 lands, cut a Wayward Swordtooth. Wayward Swordtooth may still be bad in this deck. So yeah. You missed this deck? Dude, we built this deck here on stream. And I'll tell you what, man, this deck was fun. Like, this entire process was fun. So, yeah. This was a blast. I had a lot of fun doing this little project. I kind of jumped into it for Rush, but yeah, hell, that's what friends are for, right? So, all right, guys, that's all I've got for tonight. I hope you guys had fun, and like I said, I had a lot of fun. So, we'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG. We'll bump the music up for you guys a little bit, let you guys talk and chat for a few minutes, and we'll see you next time.